for learning chess, or
Yeah.
the way you make your repertoires. Everything has evolved over the years. A lot of
Yeah.
functions have improved, right? A lot of engines have improved. So in that
Yeah, these
aspect,
days.
yeah,
Yeah, these days there are like various sites where you get the openings. Like before,
yeah,
as you have played like the long before, so
yeah,
you know that we had to prepare our own openings. We didn't have
right,
that strong engines like these days. There's the
right,
Stockfish, and these we had
exactly.
to prepare from watching Magnus Carlsen games in magazines and then bulletins, and we had a very different approach. Our basics
Yeah,
were very strong, but these
yeah,
days the material is readily available, so most players just directly run into the middle game solving calculations. But I think you should first understand the basics, fundamentals of chess instead of just jumping onto the like middle games.
right. So as a beginner, what do you think is the most important aspect to learn first? Is it the middle game? Is it the end game? Or is it the openings? What would you give weightage to the most if you are starting chess?
So if you're starting chess, I think like you should first you should just go through some basic opening like ideas. You should first see or like play some games. What is your style of playing style? Like if you're a very strong player, you should play some aggressive openings, and then you can look into the end games, because as I mentioned earlier, end games are a very important part. Even if you get some advantage, you need to learn to convert this advantage, like how to play in the end game if you're pawn up, if you're a piece up, those how to mate in that positions, how to win in that positions.
Hmm.
So first of all, I'll say that you should like see the basic and end game fundamentals, like
Hmm.
very basic fundamentals,
Hmm.
how to, if you have a connected pass points, how to win in that position if you're an extra pawn, and then move on to the openings, not very deep openings, just see what structures you like,
Good enough to
follow
get into
some
the middle game, right? Yeah,
yeah.
basically good enough
Then comes the middle game, go through
yeah.
some tactics,
Hmm.
like of course middle game is also a very important part of the game, because most of the positions is like in end game, if you see some tactics, you will just suddenly win the game. But
Yeah,
but you still need to, if you're a beginner, you need to go step by step. You can't just jump into middle game. So I hope
definitely.
it will be like that. First end game, basic end games, then basic openings, and then focus on middle game.
I agree with you because so many times, even I've struggled with it. That if you have a relatively good position in the middle game, but you're not able to
Yeah.
convert it at the end, if even if you are a pawn plus, there are so many times that the opponent tries to equalize or block the structure or whatever, but you just cannot get out of it, right? So that is, I think,
Even
as you,
now, yeah,
yeah,
even now, players are not able to win on bishop knight end games.
yeah,
So of
right,
course,
right,
these
right.
positions are very important.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So, I think, can you recommend a few books that players can practice to, for tactics and stuff like that?
For tactics, like if you're a very beginner, you could go with 1001 exercises for beginners. It is basically a book consisting of all the basic topics like mate in 2, mate in 4, pins, forks, decoys, deflections, prophylaxis. This stuff is very important for middle games. So you should know all these terms and how you make use of these in the game. And then for endgame, you must go through 100 endgames. You must know this is the basic endgames that all the players, like regardless of the level, regardless of the rating, you should know about these endgames,
Hmm.
because you have to convert again the same thing. You have to convert it, so you must know these basic 100 endgames.
Right.
And for opening, you could of course go through Chessable courses, which are freely available. You could go through the Chessable sites. Some courses are freely available. You don't have to pay. So you could just find some opening in which you're comfortable in, and just you analyze it yourself in chess.com, or you could download the chess base and something.
Okay, so can you suggest a few openings that the players should choose reflecting to their playing style? Suppose if I'm an attacking player, what kind of structure should I go for? If I'm a strategic player who likes to play passive, what kind of structure should I look for? So in that respect, if you can,
Yeah, okay, I'll just share the screen for this.
definitely, yeah.
Just a minute.
And to let the audience know, the books that she just mentioned, the end game and the middle game books, we will be sharing all of those resources with you guys. The ones who have registered, especially, we will be sharing all of those resources. So if you haven't yet registered, please do. Thank you. Yes,
Uh,
Mrudul, you can.
I hope, yeah, I
Yeah.
hope you can see the screen. You can see
Yeah.
the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, so first of all, starting with attacking players, from white, attacking players should prefer e4 because it is, you can get sometimes you can get some instant traps or something. So
Yeah.
e4.
Hmm.
From black, I would suggest for an attacking player Sicilian structures. Uh, this is matched off. Most of the players play these like attacking players because you get many ideas.
Hmm.
Like I'll just show the structure. You could just bring your bishop here, bishop e7, castle. Sometimes knight c5, pressure the e5 pawn. You have d5. This d5 push is very important for in this structure in Sicilian. So
Hmm.
of course white plans to play f4,
Hmm.
f4, and these structures. Oh, sorry. So you'll have to check these openings, but I would suggest for tactical players or attacking players, please you could try this opening.
Okay.
And for white, like if someone plays e4, e5, you could go for Scotch. Uh,
Okay.
this was what I used to play long back because I loved this trap. Most of the players used to get stuck in this. So many players must have known this trap, but like it's a bit black needs to be aware of these traps, and of course white so always try something in this. So
Okay.
yeah, sorry, castle. Oh, this is the main line, so you'll have to look into it more.
Hmm.
So for attacking players, you could go for this, and for positional players, I would suggest Roy Lopez for e4, e5.
Okay.
This is a very slow line or very, where you
Hmm.
have do appropriate plannings, move the pieces, maneuver your knights. Your
Hmm.
pieces should be properly placed. Um, so here basically a white structure is play on the middle, play in the center, bring your pieces, bring your knight here,
Hmm.
and somehow maneuver your pieces. This position isn't where you will immediately win, of course. So this is for positional players where you have to slowly move your pieces and like basically bring your pieces where they might be most helpful. Like the knight is not doing nothing on the b1 square, but if you bring it to the king side, you'll have knight f5 threats. You'll have somehow attack on the king side. So this is a very slow opening. Uh, for the players who want to play a bit solid, you could go for this.
Right.
And e4, e5 for attacking, you could go for, I told you, the Scotch. Or
Got
there's also, uh, this is a very crazy line. I used to play this sometimes when I felt like attacking.
it. Right. Right.
So
Right. Right. Yeah. The
this,
bishops. Kind of the
uh,
bishop.
yeah, this is Vienna. So
Yeah.
you
No. No.
could, yeah, just it's a bit risky, but it's very fun. You could play sometimes online games or something.
Yeah.
You could try this line. It's very entertaining. Attack on the king side.
Yeah.
Bring this here. You like bring knight here. If he opens for the bishop, you could play just f5. This f5,
Okay. And
and
the gap
queen
where
e2.
Queen e2 and bishop e3, right? For the dark square
Yeah,
bishop.
and long castle. Yeah,
Yeah,
just long castle. Do not like if you exchange the c5 bishop, you can do short castle. But the fun is like f5, and pushing
yeah,
the g4 here, sack, and it's very entertaining line. You should try this.
yeah, definitely.
And for a more solid player, more defensive players, I would suggest London system.
Hmm.
So this like many must have known this opening. It's basically just uh, this setup is c3, a4, and just bishop d3, rook e1, e4. Main is to play very slowly. This opening is very solid. You'll have to wait for your opponent to make some mistake and exploit on the king side, sorry, queen side.
Hmm.
And this is black is playing Nimzo here. So this is what I play from black, which is I don't think very good refutation for London system.
Okay.
But you could play for a solid game. You could go for London system.
Hmm.
So you could refer some games of players. So one of the very important like you should do while preparing opening is just check games of good players that is available, that so you could get more ideas from the games.
Hmm.
So
So to learn an opening, what do you
yeah.
think are the most important steps? Like till how many moves should you prepare an opening and how to prepare the opening?
First of all, just find a setup that you're comfortable in. So
Hmm.
sometimes, for solid black goes for c6,
Right.
which I prefer. So
Hmm.
this is a very solid opening. There's no immediate attack for white. Black, keeps the position calm and solid. He waits until white over tries or tries to make the position more complicated and immediately goes sometimes it's plus becomes plus for back. This is advanced. This is Karukan advanced. This line is very popular these days for white. But I think for
There
a
is an
solid
H4
game,
variation too, right? In
yeah,
Karakan, which is could
h4
be
is
attacking.
also, yeah, h4, h5, bishop d3 takes.
Yeah. Right.
For Karukan, if you want to prepare this opening like properly deep lines, so you could refer to Lamy course that is available on Chessable. You could get it for free on Telegram or anywhere. So this is a great line. I like Karukan very much. So this is a
Yeah.
very solid setup. Just
Hmm.
bring your knight to d7.
Right.
Bring this knight to f5, then bishop e7. Wait for the castles.
Hmm.
Don't just sometimes there's this trouble on h5 or some attack might come. So just wait to castle. Just bring your rook to d8, push c5. This is a very slow line. There's no immediate attack for black. You'll have
Hmm.
to wait, play slowly, bring your pieces into the game, uh, and white also needs to do the same.
Right.
So this is good. And if you want to play something creative or something unorthodox, I would say,
Hmm.
so you could go for Scandinavian. Like
Right.
I used to play these in my beginner days, and it was something different, very unique kind of, very creative opening,
Hmm.
many sacks and everything. Oh, sorry, this NBD7. This was a bit, even if black is a pawn down, the black's pieces are very active. Now, black can bring the bishop to c5, castle, or sometimes queen e7, long castles. Even though white is a pawn down, the pieces is very much developed than white. So sometimes white has trouble because his knight is not yet developed. Both the
Right.
knights, bishops, and the king is in the center, which is very risky.
Hmm.
So
Which is the
if you
idea for
want to
most
play,
gambits, right? Basically to improve your pieces, even if you have to sack
yeah,
a pawn, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So beginners, they are very attracted to material advantage, but I would suggest do not go after material. Look for, like, mostly look for space, because sometimes when we go after material, we lose our space.
Hmm.
So space advantage is very, very, very important in chess. If you're playing with a tough opponent, if you give them the key squares or the space advantage, they'll just crush you, because you won't have the mobility to move your pieces, and it will be very tough. And in time controls, you lose a lot of time in such positions, so it will be
Right.
difficult for a longer time.
Hmm.
So these are the openings I would suggest. And did I miss something? Of a positional players I told, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And attacking
Yeah,
and
definitely
solid.
cover that. Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
Hmm.
So, something else I think, do you recommend a particular setup which people can play without preparing openings? Something that is universal.
Something universal. So against e4, many
Hmm.
players play, perk. You don't have to prepare much for that.
Right,
Just,
right, right. Perfect. Yeah.
just d6,
D6.
b4, g6, play bishop, bishop g7. Just bring this something.
Seven. Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't recommend this in the long run, but if you like don't want to prepare and just want to play something basic, so
Hmm.
you could just play this setup. Of course,
Hmm.
white will develop his pieces. Uh, so just very simple setup. Sometimes you just don't feel like preparing when you're playing, so you could
Yeah.
just do this.
Yeah. And here I think Black has very interesting ideas like Queen C7, B5, and
Yeah.
just go for the Queen side. So I think
Yeah,
it
now
seems
so e5. Yeah,
yeah,
just you have to be careful of this e5, e6.
right.
So so you don't have to prepare, but you should be aware of some ideas about black, that you should be careful of this e5 break.
Right.
Sometimes you'll big bishop h6, h4, attacking the king side. These ideas you should be aware of. Even if you don't want to prepare, you should be aware of these small, small ideas. So it doesn't come as a surprise when you play.
So I think model games would help with that, right?
Yeah,
If you see some of the model games, they can definitely
yeah.
and white
You
what
could watch. You could watch some of your favorite players' games, and as per the structure, you should, if you feel like you love attacking, you should find a structure that will be, that you will be comfortable playing in. So watch some games of players you like.
hmm.
Don't watch Magnus Carlsen and hope that you'll play the same,
Yeah,
but watch
especially
something
for
around.
Lopez, right? What you
Yeah,
suggest. Yeah. So yeah. So perfect.
watch like 2000 rating or
Hmm.
near to that if you're a beginner, and like 1700s. Even these days 1700s are more preparation than 2000s and 2100s
Yeah.
because of these chessable courses and all.
I've seen that rating gap happening. The high rated players losing to lower rated players. That's a major issue right now, right? I would call it after
Yeah.
pandemic mainly. That has the gap has increased. So yeah. So if I'm a beginner and I have 1 hour to dedicate to chess, what would you suggest? How should I divide the hours? If I have 1 hour per day and I practice 5 days a week, how should I practice? How should I divide my time?
As a beginner, you're saying. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
beginner or
1 hour.
intermediate level.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
1 hour. Hmm.
20 minutes you should give to tactics and different topics of middle games.
Hmm.
So calculation, tactics, this enhances your thinking ability. So in positions, even when there is no need, like not in every position you don't need to calculate, but there are certain tactical motives or certain strategies that you must be aware of, like
Hmm.
in if you have an isolated pawn, So there is
Mm.
a strategy. If opponent has an isolated pawn, then you should try to attack that pawn, bring your
Right.
pieces and attack
Yeah.
that pawn.
Mm.
So these kind of strategies you should know. So work 20 minutes of your time for tactics and
Mm.
different kind of topics. And then I'd say 20 minutes you could give to openings and analyze your own games. So analyzing your own games is a very important thing these days, because if you continuously play, you'll have to like monitor your games, where you're going wrong. Is there some area that I'm missing moves, like in the middle game if you're missing some very small tactics, so you'll
Mm.
get to know that I'm missing the tactics, so increase your time on tactics. So and then opening, of course, it's very important game. If you want to come with a solid position in middle game without losing any material, so of course you have to focus on openings. Find something you're comfortable in and go deeper into it. Find the key ideas in the middle game that will be very helpful for you. Then you could give 10 minutes. You could just play some blitz games, or you could just increase time in it. You could just play one game with 10 minutes, or
Yeah.
just give some more time. Do not play very short games if you're a beginner. If you're intermediate players, you can go for 5 minutes, you can go for 3 2, you can go for some increment, 2 seconds or 3 seconds, 5 seconds. But if you're a beginner, I would suggest go for longer time periods. And then you could give the last 10 minutes for basic end games. Just look through some very basic end games, as I mentioned earlier, some like how to win in this position, what's how to evaluate that position and all.
Okay. So I think, see, most of the players in here, I think, play online more, less on the board. So as you said, that for time control, beginners should not go for lesser time controls and should focus on rapid games, right? More.
Yeah.
So that is what you suggest. That if you have 1 hour, then you should practice tactics for 20 minutes, analyze your own games for 20 minutes, and then play games for the rest of the 20 minutes, right? And
No, the 20 minutes for analyzing and also the opening included
and
in
also,
that.
yeah.
20 minutes for tactics, 10 minutes you should play games, and like brief 10 minutes you could give for end games. But you could like change the time according to your own. After some time you'll see that in this particular area I am not that good, so you could just adjust that time period according to yourself.
Do you think that playing blitz or playing bullet affects your on the board classical games, affects your patience or your game style,
Yeah.
anything? Do you think it
So,
does?
like, if you're, it matters actually. Sometimes you play blitz for, if you're time pressure, how to handle that. So, you practice on blitz game. Like, if you in time pressure, how fast can I think in that position? How fast can I calculate? How many moves can I calculate in 5 to 10 seconds? For that, you can play blitz. But if you're beginner, just focus on 30 minutes, 15 plus 5, longer time, because you should know what you're playing. You should think about, why am I playing this move? Why is this move helping me somewhere? Is this move really improving my position, or is it giving play to my opponent? These
Got it.
are the things that you should note when you're playing. Like
Hmm.
if you're a like intermediate or advanced player, you could go for a lower time trouble, like 3 2, or 3 3 minutes, because there you're trying to see like how fast can you calculate. If
And
in
basically, how well can you trust your intuition, right?
Yeah.
Because that is also extremely important for on the board chess too. In extension to this, can you explain the theory of candidate moves? Like, how do you select candidate
Mm.
moves?
So while you're practicing tactics, or positions, calculating some stuff from books, or some positions you are particularly trying to calculate on, what candidate moves means is, in a position there are multiple moves. So you can't there's always confusion. What should I play? This is also correct, this is also looking correct, that is also looking correct. So you should have that habit of while training you should have that habit of getting candidate moves. In a position there can be two candidate moves, three, and just analyze every candidate moves. There's this trial and error method that you should really like get used to before going into standard, because in every move there are many moves that you think are right, but not
Hmm.
every move is right.
Hmm.
So you have to have the habit of calculating every variation, not very deep, just go into 2 3 further moves. Like after 2 3 moves, if my opponent plays this, am I getting a favorable position or is it benefiting my opponent?
Hmm.
So these candidate moves will somehow help you to understand your own position. So like what structure, what pawn structure, or how the piece should coordinate in that game. So
Hmm.
candidate moves are very important. You should always try to practice more on candidate moves in your training sessions. Do not waste too much time in the standard games, because you have to that if you have 1 or 30 minutes of time for a standard game, so you cannot just think for whole 30 minutes on one move. You will have to manage that time.
Oh,
So that candidate moves, you have to just do not think very deep, just 2 3 moves further and just finish it. If it doesn't look, just cancel that, go to the next move, and again just calculate 2 3 moves, then cancel that if it's not working, and the final move just calculate it. If it's working, go for it, don't hesitate.
perfect. Yeah. So, how important do you think is imagination when you're playing? For example, if I have a lot of passive pieces, okay, and I'm just thinking how to improve those pieces, then what will I evaluate? I'll see that this for a knight, if there's an outpost, I think that if the knight was an e5, it would be much better rather than a
Yeah,
d8, right?
yeah.
So do you imagine in this way, or do you have some other technique of thinking that where the pieces should be and then do you maneuver, or what is your style of playing? What is your approach?
So when you're playing, first of all, you should open your position, like develop all your position pieces before going for an attack. So
Yeah.
first of all, see which piece is misplaced or which piece is not developed.
Hmm.
Like for example, a knight is its own square; it's not developed yet. It's on g8 or g1. So first develop that knight. So if there is a like outpost for knight which looks very attractive, that their knight would be very good, it would be very helpful for your attack. So just think, is this my piece better on what I like, what is already it is on, or it will be better in like if I maneuver that piece. So where will it be where will it be placed the best? Like for an example, knight is on its own square like b8.
Hmm.
So there's this outpost on c5. So you think, will my knight be better on its original space or will it be better on the c5 square? Where
Hmm.
will it be more helpful?
Hmm.
So then you can just move it to the, then just think how to move that knight there without giving the opponent some chances. Like
Right.
sometimes we just clear like really focus on moving our knight to the right square, just we just forget that opponent has some counter play against that.
Right.
So while moving the knight, you should also focus on your opponent's move. Will it be beneficial for him if I just focus on that? So that is a very important factor.
So again, in this case, also I think the calculation tree comes to practice. That if
Yeah.
the knight where you want to move it moves there in 4 moves, you will have to calculate what your opponent plays for the next 4 moves, right? It should
Yes.
not
Yeah.
be disastrous for you while you improve your position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So and so ideal time control for beginners. I would just like to summarize this whole thing. Ideal time control for beginners would be 30 minutes or 15 minutes with increment. With
Yeah.
increment is important because when you move to end game and you don't have much time, if even if you have increment, you can think and play fast
Yeah,
maybe, but
you continuously ask yourself, is this move right? Is this helpful? You if
right.
you play blitz, you'll be like just intuitively.
Yeah.
Your intuition is not developed yet if you're a beginner. Like you'll have to play many games for that intuition to be right. So
Right.
that one.
Okay. This was an amazing interaction, and so we have uh, a lot of questions from the audience when we filled out when we made people fill out the registration forms, a lot of people have given in their questions. So I will just read them out to you, and you can answer those questions, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So one player has asked how to perform better in pressure moments in difficult time controls.
Difficult time controls, you mean like
Basically,
difficult,
pressure moments
strong.
wanda either position wise pressure, if you know, if you have to win this round by hook or crook, that could be
Okay.
a difficult situation. And difficult time control could mean that you are low on time, you don't have
Huh.
much time to calculate. Yeah.
So, for this, you will have to develop a habit of, continuously visualizing positions. While you're training, you're practicing, you do some calculations. So you have to make a habit of for solving some puzzles daily to get ideas, to get the vision. Like on the board, there's different vision. While you're playing online, there's different. If you think that I am playing online, I'll be able to play on the board, it's different because the pressure is different, the players are there,
Your
you're playing in
eyes
a
are not
tournament
set
hall.
your eyes are not
Yeah.
set in that format,
Exactly.
right? If
There's
I
many
if I have to,
distractions.
yeah, if I have to play on the board, I should practice playing on my chessboard at my home, so I can visualize the board here and there the same way, right? Online it
Yeah.
does not work the same way. Yeah.
Exactly. So you should be habituated to calculating in shorter times, solve puzzles with timer, like give yourself 5 minutes. You should be able to solve in that time. Even if it's not a correct answer, just try to solve that puzzle. Just write your answer and do not, hesitate. Like, oh no, it will be wrong. Just try. If nobody is judging you, just try to solve it on the given time control. So
Hmm.
this is a very important. There are many sites which will help you, like chess tempo, chess.com, lead chess. These provides you very thematic positions. Like if you want to focus on some certain topics, these sites will give you the positions related to that topic and some time control you'll be able to set. So this is very important. And also energy. You'll have to be very focused. When you're playing, there are many very many distractions, like other players are playing, some people are walking beside us. So you should be able to focus on that moment. If you have 10 seconds on the clock and it's a very complicated position, so you should be able to block the distractions and able to think on that position. Like only focus on your board. There are certain candidate moves that you see, but you have to eliminate it so fast because you only have 10 seconds.
Hmm.
In training you have as much time as you want. Sometimes you
Hmm.
just cheat and okay, 5 minutes are over, nobody's watching, so I'll think more. Sometimes you
Hmm.
think that.
Yeah, yeah.
But in on the board you can't do that, you'll flag.
Can't
No.
do that.
So
Yeah.
you'll have to just strictly follow that rule, that there are 5 minutes, you have to solve in that 5 minutes, you cannot extend that time.
Hmm.
So this is very important. You should maintain your energy level, because at the end of the moment, at the end of the game, after 3 hours or 4 hours, that energy level is very important. Keep yourself hydrated, of course, and you could also eat something or these things. So pressure in these moments, your focus, your confidence, your energy should be on point. You can't be distracted and think like I'll find the right move, because distraction will like just destroy that moment for you.
Hmm. And how do you think can one improve intuition? Because I
Intuition.
think intuition works a lot in time pressure moments. So,
Yeah.
how do you think can a person work on that mainly?
So intuition, basically, what intuition means is when you see a position, the
Yeah.
first move that comes to your mind, like
Hmm.
if you see an attacking position,
Hmm.
what is the first move that comes to your mind? Is it moving the knight, the rook? Is it an attacking move or is it an defensive move?
Hmm.
So just the first move you think, write it down and just check if that move is really working
Hmm.
and what went wrong with that move. Was that move really worth, like, was your intuition right?
Hmm.
After doing this a few times, you will see that Yeah, our intuition is not always right, of course, but sometimes after practicing a lot, you will see that after you see certain tactical motives or certain strategies, after analyzing some certain games, you will see that this intuition is improved automatically because
Hmm.
you've seen so many games, you've seen
Right.
analyzed so many games that you have get used to, finding like in this position it's open, so I'll just push, I'll attack now.
Yeah.
In
Right.
positions you like automatically get that feeling. Now it's attacking position, I'll just push my rook, I'll just push my right, it's time to attack now.
Hmm.
So basically practice more, solve more puzzles, the intuition will like slowly improve. It isn't
Hmm.
like something you'll get in an instant.
Right. Also, I feel if to avoid the time pressure that most players get, there is theory called 40 good moves are better than 5 great moves. Right. So
So
people focus a lot on finding the best move in a position, right? But even if you play the second best move, it's not going
yeah,
to harm you, right? But if you spend 5 minutes more in finding the best move, that is going to harm you in the longer run, right? So I think
so
maybe
this
that,
is a problem very this is a very
yeah,
common problem. I
yeah,
suffer from it most of the time, so
yeah,
I
me
know
too.
this.
Yeah,
So this
definitely.
is like something which will destroy your game because uh, you should know in that in your mind that not every position you can calculate. In some
Hmm.
position, you will have to go with the second best position, second best move, or you will
Right.
have to just think that how can I improve my how can I improve my pieces in that position. Not
Hmm.
every move you will have to calculate like I'll calculate till end game. You can't do that on every move. There are certain points in the game that where
Hmm.
you will need to calculate.
Hmm.
So sometimes you'll have to just develop your pieces, move your pieces,
Play natural.
get the center. Yeah, play
Yeah.
with the flow. Do not
Hmm.
calculate in every move. Just you should make up in your mind that I'll not focus more than 3 minutes, more than 5 minutes on this move, and
Hmm.
just follow that. Just continuously check your clock if you're taking more than 5 minutes.
Hmm.
So immediately just play what you think is the best at that moment. Do not calculate on every move.
Right. Also, looking at the question that we have from the other side, I've seen that most players do this. So when I have 4 minutes on my clock, but my opponent only has 10, a lot of players who have more time, they play very fast, just so that
Yeah,
that their opponent do not get the opportunity to calculate and get time to calculate, right? But I've seen that most people blunder in these times, even if you have time. Even if you
yeah,
have
yeah.
time, you're filtering and your opponent sees it even with less time. So I think that is something that you must avoid. uh, Even if you have more time and an opponent has less, do not focus on playing fast, right? Just
Yeah,
play
this
the
is
right.
very important because we
Very
get
important.
overexcited. Like we have more time. He's only 4 minutes. If I
Yeah.
play fast, he'll blunder. But it
Yeah.
isn't like that. Sometimes you only blunder in that position.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of your opponent, you just make your position worsen. So,
Hmm.
and in that position, he'll just get a benefit and he'll be able to play in that four
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just do not make impulsive decisions. Think, think. It isn't like you will get flagged down immediately in 10 minutes. No, it'll come to 5 minutes, but you won't lose your positions. Then both will play in time pressure. It doesn't make difference. No,
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
in time pressure. If you're same level, then one of the player will make a mistake.
Yeah, I've seen this become a turning point in so many games in tournaments, so many games at last that people do this. But yeah, okay. So taking the second questions, a player has asked that how to handle games with black in classical on the board games. I play openings flawlessly, but as the game crosses third hour, middle game becomes difficult to handle. Please suggest some tips for improving on this respect.
So, first of all, I'll repeat again what I said before. Find the opening that you're comfortable in. Do not go for something you don't know. Like, if you're not an attacking player, don't go for an attacking position. Even
Hmm.
if the opponent is weak in that particular like setup, don't
Yeah.
push yourself because
Hmm.
sometimes if you go into playing something you're not comfortable in, you'll find that you have lost a lot of time. You'll see that it was 1 hour 30 minutes and suddenly you are down to 30 minutes.
Hmm.
it isn't worth losing 1 hour of your time in a standard game if you can't find that comfortable position.
Hmm.
And of course, just check your opponent's games. If you're playing with some good player, you'll surely get 1 to 10 games, in minimum 10 games. So you'll know that in some structures he's not able to play properly.
Hmm.
And you can find an opening or a structure that you are comfortable in, but still you're able to, that particular what his weakness, you're able to exploit the opponent's weakness. So play comfortably. Do not just push yourself into something you're not comfortable in. And of course, watch your time. That's very important, because most of the players are worried about time pressure, as I've seen in these questions. So
So basically, he's
that's
asking that when the third hour clicks in, that time he
okay.
gets
Third hour.
an issue. Yeah.
Okay, third hour. Okay.
Yeah.
So third hour, so the chess has a, like, its own. It's not only about, preparing and playing against your opponent. It's there is more to chess. There's this psychological side. There's this, and you have to have that confidence. You have to that focus. You have to have that energy to play more than 3 hours. So after 3 hours, you will get time pressure. So you have to you have to check ideas before the game, how to, convert that position. If you are in middle game, how are you able to convert that middle game into end game by but still getting a favorable position for yourself. So these factors are, you will improve by practicing more. It's not something you could just go and play and you'll be able to, get these positions. We'll have to check. We'll have to see certain key setups. After 3 hours, it isn't about middle game. It's more like this. If it's there some like, complex positions, or someone is attacking, or it's either middle game, so, or end game. So you have to know the concepts, because in time pressure these things will help you a lot. By you'll, instead of taking 10 minutes, you just find the move in 1 minute, if you know what is the concept behind that certain structure.
Right.
So
So I think,
comfortable position is main.
yeah, and model games, just like you said earlier, if you watch model games, you will see at least 10 different ideas that players have played
Yeah,
all this time for the same position. Maybe 10 to 20 different ideas, different setups that players have played in a way that the game progresses, right? So if you
yeah,
have a note of all of these setups or all of these plans in advance, then I think you can plan better while you're playing on the board. You can choose wisely while you're playing. Also,
yeah,
about the 3 hour thing, I think most of there's a very common misconception that chess does not require physical fitness, but I think when you are playing, physical
yeah,
fitness is
it's
also a
very
very
important.
important, as important as mental fitness, right? It also requires you to be physically fit, to be physically present there and not
Yeah.
drain yourselves, right? And
So
also,
meditation and exercising is very important, because like this misconception that you mentioned, it's a very, like, very popular opinion of others, that what chess is a game where you have to sit. There's no
yeah,
need to, exercise. There's no need to watch your psychology. But you have to, like, watch your mental health, because if you win, if you're in a clearly winning position and you suddenly lose, so after the game you'll feel very bad about it. But you need to think that, no, I have the next round, I have to focus on the next round. I can just think about the same round continuously. I'll have to get past it. I'll have to focus on the next round. So mental health is very important in these things.
yeah. Also, I think if while playing on in the tournament, most of the players walk while watching other players' games, right? The other board's games.
Yeah,
I think if you just walk, not looking at other people's games, but just walking makes you think better, I think. Or
yeah.
even if you just stand behind your opponent and think from the opponent's perspective, I think that also helps a lot, right? While
Yeah,
playing, because
because you
like,
see the board from his side. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. So you can see what your opponent might plan, what your opponent might move, and you can
Yeah.
calculate better from your side again. So I think these little things like walking, keeping yourself hydrated, eating chocolates during the game, or something else to keep your sugar levels high.
Yeah,
Right?
go to washroom, just wash your face, do
Yeah.
what you feel like. Like, just
Hmm.
don't sit on the board and think that, like, sometimes, you feel sleepy, like sitting on the same place, same position for a longer time. Just
Yeah.
move around a bit, watch
Yeah.
other people's game. Like, it shouldn't be like if you're watching someone else's game, you'll just forget about your own possession. This shouldn't happen, of course,
Yeah.
but it's very important.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question is that how to be tough opponents. I think this requires a psychological point of view. So
First of all,
how do you play
yeah,
against plan against tough opponents? Somebody who is higher rated than you, probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, do not be scared of them. Just because of their rating is high, it doesn't mean you are a bad player or he's a very good player that you can't beat. Chess is a very unpredictable game. You can't expect what will come next. Sometimes
Hmm.
you just blunder in a clearly winning position. Sometimes you'll just make such great moves that you'll win in a clearly losing positions.
Hmm.
So it is a very unpredictable.
Hmm.
Don't take pressure. Like, even if I say this, I take pressure, I know,
Yeah.
because you can't avoid this.
Hmm.
So, but first of all, check your opponent's game. If he's a tough player, of course there's a lot of games available online. Just check what kind of positions he plays. If he goes for a more solid opening, if he avoids attacking positions, you could go for openings where you get an attacking position,
Hmm.
where you could exploit his weakness,
Hmm.
and play opening that you are comfortable in. As I've mentioned several times before, your comfort is very important, because this if what you play as an opening will somehow be converted into the middle game, and it will be extended to end games. Like, if
Hmm.
you're playing French, there's this c5 f6 break. You should know these basic plans, and this certain key, certain key points that, or key structures that you should know in every opening, and keep the position very solid, but be opportunistic, because sometimes, if the position is very solid or drawish, your opponent, higher rated opponent, will try to overpush that position because he wants to win.
Win.
He wants that point because he thinks you're lower, and
Hmm.
we know he's a higher, so we'll have to compete anyways. So keep the position very solid. Some or the other way, like in the middle game or end game, the opponent will try to overpush, will try to win somehow. If he by mistake, like, over tries, or sometimes he just over pushes the position, tries to stack the pieces, and you should be very alert in this position. Just, you know you should exploit that, because the whole game you have been playing very solid, and just waiting for that moment. So when he makes a mistake, or when he over tries, you should be very aware that in that moment it's your moment. Just go for it, don't be scared. Sometimes, if our opponent is a very high rated player and he sacrifices, even if the sacrifice is wrong, we'll think that, oh no, shit,
Yeah.
if I take this,
Something is coming.
am I missing something? Is there something I am not seeing? But just trust your skills, because not every time you're mistaking. Sometimes you're right and your opponent is wrong. So trust yourself sometimes. I'll say
Basically,
this.
try and bring your opponent out of their preparation if you can, because there's no
Yeah.
way that if I am a 1400 and if so I'm playing against a 2000 or a 2200, there is no way that I would know more opening moves than my opponent would, right? But
Yeah,
in some
just
cases
in
you might.
some, even if he knows all the openings, there's some point or some uh, position where he's not that comfortable in. So just
Right.
catch that point and focus on that.
So basically, try to exploit your opponent's weaknesses, right?
Yeah,
Okay. And I think there's one more psychological perspective that I've read in a book. I don't remember the name of the book, but it's really nice. And it says that focus on the pieces, not on the person that you're playing against. So if you're
yeah,
white,
exactly.
think that you're playing against the black pieces. not that you're playing against a higher rated opponent, right? If you think in that way and you just ignore your opponent, that's fine, that's completely fine. Just don't look at
Yeah,
them.
basically we overthink. If our opponent is high rated player, we think that he is like, I
Yeah,
lose. Just don't go in that direction. Just think, maybe I'll win. Maybe he'll
yeah,
make a mistake. Maybe he's in not that mood.
not
Maybe
that good
I'll
of.
play great.
Yeah.
I'll play great moves. Just go for it.
Perfect.
Don't be scared. And that's the main thing.
Yeah. So the other question is that I am returning to chess after 2 to 3 years of break. What openings should I look up to and how should I return to chess? Also, I have left doing calculations and I have started blitzing on instinct as I have no real opening knowledge, which leads me to make silliest moves of all time. I want to check. I want to take chess seriously. With that perspective, I would like an advice. And is there an opening I can play for black regardless of what white plays? So, breaking this
Um,
question down because it's really long, breaking it down, let's focus on the first part that the person has left doing calculations and has started blitzing on instinct. So, what kind of opening should they look up to? Yeah, that's it.
so, like, it feels like it's my story because I had a break of 2, 3 years.
Yeah.
So if you have left chess, like you have a break of 2, 3 years, you'll find that you are not very used to playing certain positions.
Hmm.
You're not able to calculate that fast. Before, if you used to calculate 5 to 10 moves in 10 seconds, you'll see that now you're not able to visualize till that extent.
Right.
So I'll say just revisit or revise all your openings,
Hmm.
all all the basics, all the fundamentals of chess. Just revisit those and check if you're still comfortable in these positions and check the latest trends in that openings because nowadays there are various materials available on internet and engines, so players tend to prepare a lot. Like if you used to prepare like 2 3 years back or 4 years back, if you used to prepare 10 moves, now players prepare even 15 1600s, they prepare 20 moves.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of difference in the trends these days.
Hmm.
So there are certain new lines emerging. You could see a dragon a few years back, sorry, Najdorf a few years back, it wasn't so like popular, or it wasn't many players didn't prefer Dragon or Natchdog. But these days, you could find that there's these ideas after 20 moves that these strong players have now innovated. These
Hmm.
ideas are equalizing the position somehow.
Hmm.
So these ideas, after you'll have to check again because 3 4 years back we didn't have that much preparation.
Hmm.
We used to mainly focus on what was popular back then. So, first of all, just again start calculating. Do tactics, calculations. Try to do it with some kind of timer and revisit all your openings.
Hmm.
Check the new trends, and you could also play online games, solve some thematic puzzles, and what else was there in the question?
Um, what kind of openings? Is there an opening that he can play for black regardless of what white plays? Some setup basically,
Regardless.
not an opening but mainly a setup that a person can play in front of anything that the white plays.
So I would suggest you could go for Karukan because after I had a break, I opted for Karukan because it is a more solid line. I got a lot of time to focus on calculation because uh, there isn't immediate play for white where he could immediately exploit or immediately go for attack. It's a very solid opening, so you'll get some time to just start calculating again, slowly go into positional play, like see the ideas. So
Hmm.
I'll recommend Karukan because while playing that opening, you could start after you master that opening. You'll see that it's a very good opening for black because white doesn't have some immediate play. Black can slowly, develop his pieces, but
Hmm.
still there's some chances that he'll get an initiative in some positions. So for e4, I would suggest that. And for d4, it actually depends on what kind of player you are. Some people you are very much into theory, so they goes into King's Gambit and
Yeah, but
so
that would be very expensive for somebody who is starting
yeah,
again,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a different. You could just go for a simple setup like Nimzo, uh,
Hmm.
NF6, E6. Just develop your pieces B6, Bishop B7, and if White plays D4, C4, so you could just bring your Bishop to B4. The basic setup. You could check Nimzo. Sorry for that. And if you want to play more solid, there's Queen's Gambit declined, but of course there's a bit of theory there.
Yeah.
So if you're
Sorry to interrupt, but I think he's written in the chat that he likes to play sacrificial
from black,
from black. Yeah. In
okay,
general, he likes to play sacrificial. So,
okay, okay.
I think for this, as you mentioned before, that a person can play perk without much preparation, right? So even in
Yeah, but
case of
it's a bit
e4,
these days it's not preferred because
okay,
like it's like you could play, of course you could play, but with strong
yeah,
players you can't
hmm.
find that comfort in that position because white will
Okay,
always have that center because of the e4 d4 and
yeah,
sometimes like white will have that bishop h6 and those attacking positions with tough opponents or with higher rated opponents. I wouldn't suggest pork
okay,
because you can't always get a comfortable position.
hmm.
If you're starting after a long time, there's certainly a chance that you'll miss calculation or small tactics because from a personal experience, uh, because you're not used to calculating and you're not used to seeing moves at that point of time because 2 3 years is a long gap.
Yeah,
These
it's very
days players improve in such a fast speed, like in 2 3 months they'll cross 20,000 and players have started really making effort in chess, so I
I
wouldn't suggest
actually,
going into sacrificial.
yeah, I also took a break during pandemic, and now I am just too scared to return. Just too scared to return because it's out. It's crucial. It's killing out there. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough.
So if you're sacrificial, so first of all, just solve many calculation, many tactics, because even if you think you like playing sacrificial, there's one point where you're not able to see beyond few moves. Like
Hmm.
before, if you were a 2000 or any like rated, if you used to see 5 moves or something, and while calculating 5 to 10 moves, now after 2 3 bigs, you will see that you can't visualize a position after 2 3 moves, or after
Hmm.
some moves, you're not able to evaluate that position or visualize. So first of all, I suggest you just first improve your calculation, again get into calculation, solve many puzzles as much as you can, get back to your form, and then you can go into your sacrificial play. First make your opening a bit solid because these days players have like evolved very much in terms of openings. These chessable courses are freely available and almost all of the players are very well prepared. So without preparation, if you're going into sacrificial opening, it will be a bit risky.
Right. Okay, so Atharva, I hope this answers your questions. Now, actually, we are quite low on time, so I'll just take questions from the chat box. If you guys have any questions, please mention. We'll be taking up questions from here now. So starting above, how to know when not to trade pieces.
When not to
When not to
trade
trade pieces.
pieces.
Yeah.
So you'll have to see the position actually. If you're trading some exchanging a pawn or exchanging some pieces,
Hmm.
like think after few moves, will that position be favorable or like better for your opponent or for yourself?
Hmm.
After trading, for example, if your knight is on the middle square and you're trading it, you'll have
Hmm.
to see if the opponent is getting an open file because of it, If you are getting an open file, you're getting an advantage, then it's okay. You can just trade the pieces. But somehow it's opening the file for your opponent, or you know, just it's removing the blocking piece that is blocking your opponent's piece, and it's improving his position. Then just wait for a few moves. Wait, do not just take exchange.
Also, if you are just exchanging your good piece with your opponent's bad piece,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
piece that
bad
is
piece.
blocked for them, if you do that, then that is also not good, right? So mainly, I think mobility of the pieces matter in these cases.
Yeah.
If you have a good piece, then you must not exchange that, right? Okay. So Sai asks that if it's a team event, how to make strategy for all rating category players. This is a very good question. Huh? We've done this a lot in SGFI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, in team events, it's more than playing individually. You will have to focus on what is going on other boards. Like if four players are playing in the team, you'll have to have at least 2.5 points to win. So you could see which player of your team is facing the strongest opponent. So you could just ask him to play a bit solid, so he could at least take out a draw, or the result will be equal. So, and if your like teammate is playing with someone who is not that strong,
Hmm.
so tell him to go for a win. Try a bit more, like not like over push himself, but just try to win that game, because we'll have to win for our team. So the one who is playing with a stronger one, his probability of winning is a bit low. So he should be able to play a bit solid, and others who have a bit low, low rated players, or who are not that experienced, you could, go for the game. Just try to win that game so the team wins.
Okay, and how to prepare if you are preparing all the players together? What is something that should be done to motivate all the players, and something that helps them all, even if they belong to different rating categories?
So as a team, in a team event, you are telling.
Yeah, the team
Okay,
event.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you're preparing together, uh, you could all just share your ideas. Sometimes there are some ideas that your opponent knows, but you don't know. Like opponent, I'm saying, sorry, teammates know, and you don't know in that position. So
Hmm.
you could just share your ideas. There's always something new in chess. Chess is a very broad, like, you won't learn everything.
Yeah.
There's something new that you learn. So also motivate your teammate that it's fine if you lose. Just
Hmm.
try your best, give your best. Don't pressurize your teammate that you have to win. You will have to win if you want to, if you want the team to win. Just be each other's support, and motivate each other. And that's what I'll say.
Perfect. For a beginner or a middle player, how many moves and openings should one practice and remember?
As a beginner, I say, as a beginner, don't go into deeper lines. Don't go into memorizing deep lines, because you will see that even if you memorize deep lines, if your higher rated opponent just plays something different, you'll be lost in that position, because you don't know why you're playing that. So first of
Hmm.
all, understand each move, what is the purpose of that move, instead of just memorizing it.
Hmm.
Like, decide a structure that you're comfortable in. See some ideas after a few moves. See extra 5 moves, see extra 10 moves. What is the purpose, what is the idea of that move? Will this help in the middle game? And the key ideas that should be focused in that opening, like,
Hmm.
the main, basically, don't go into deep openings. Just
Right.
focus on improving your game first.
Hmm. So maybe I think 5 to 7 moves and the structures that could work, right?
Yeah, structures,
Just
yeah.
5 to 6 moves and structures. Okay. We have a very good question that says that should we play on our strengths or opponents' weaknesses?
Both, actually.
Yeah.
Both is very critical. I
Yeah.
wouldn't
If your opponent's
like
weakness is
tell you
also your
to.
weakness, then don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like, sometimes your opponent's weakness is also your weakness. Like,
Yeah.
if he isn't able to play in a defending position, you are not able to attack. So what's the use of attacking, no, when you are not able to find that active moves or attacking moves? So basically, after finding your opponent's weakness, see if that is also your weakness or not. If it's not, then exploit it.
Right. Okay. Perfect. There's Jeevan saying that I'm not able to pass 900 yellow after break of 1 month, and I automatically started playing better and reached 1175 easily. Are breaks also necessary? I think I can answer that no. Breaks are not
Yeah,
necessary.
no,
Not at all.
not
Yeah.
necessary.
No. But maybe some pressure roads off when you take a break. If I'm too
But
pressured
I
when I'm
wouldn't
playing.
recommend it in standard format.
Yeah,
Online it's fine,
yeah.
but not in
But maybe
standard.
also once you take a break, when you start again, you have a very low expectation from yourself. But while you're playing
Confidence, low
continuously,
confidence.
yeah, low confidence but also low expectation, right?
Yeah.
But when you're playing continuously, you have a lot of pressure that you put on yourself, that I have to win this, I have to perform better, I have to do this, I have to do that, right? So when you take a break, I think it helps in that sense with your own psychology, that you have low expectation, and then if you play better, it just boosts you, right? So maybe
But
in that case,
sometimes it backfires.
yeah,
You
it
too
has
low
always
expectation
backfired.
will result with something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so Vivek says that how would you enter the over the board chess scene as a new player while being 18 to 20-year old? If you're
How
already
would you
in the game,
enter? Like,
yeah, how to enter playing on the board?
so, if you only play online, or he played some rapid tournaments, or
Only online,
if,
only online.
okay, so you could go for some rapid tournaments that are conducted nearby your, city. If you're living somewhere, just get some information if there are any on the board tournaments, rapid tournaments, blitz tournament happening nearby your, where you're staying. Just try to participate in those tournaments and see if you're able to compete with these players. If you're really able to compete and if you really think you will be able to succeed, or you find that you'll be able to handle that pressure, you'll be able to properly compete in a standard tournament, you could always go for some open tournaments for a longer, durations.
Duration.
But I'll suggest go for rapid blitz and see if you really really like the game, if you really want to pursue it further.
Also, I think that while you play online, you don't see the board that regularly, right? So I think
Yeah.
purchasing a chessboard, and just even if you are doing tactics or anything, just put up the positions on your board and think on the board rather than thinking
Yeah,
on the laptop screen, right?
and you
Even
could
if
play
you're doing,
with each other also. Now, if you are forming a club, you could just play with each other. You could
but even if
practice
you're
to have
playing offline,
tournament.
play the opponent's moves on the board and you think on the board, so that your mind is
Hmm.
situated to thinking on the board before playing such tournaments, right? So I think maybe that would also help a lot. um what are the things a master or grandmaster usually do before 30 to 60 minutes before having a game? Please suggest some secret tips.
A grandmaster.
Yeah.
Like most of the grandmaster I've interacted with, they usually say we don't prepare much before the game, because uh, they are very prepared beforehand. They just check the basic things like what your opponent plays. So they prepare many openings. So they are very versatile in that for like forte. So they are very used to these positions and very used to different kind of openings. So these grandmaster usually just rest, with
Yeah.
whom I've interacted. They just told, I just rest before the game. I don't
Yeah.
take much pressure about preparing because
Hmm.
we have already, because they give like 24 hours of the day, like they give 12, 10 hours, 8 hours of the day to chess. So they are very much prepared for the tournament. So before, like 30 to 60 minutes before the round, they'll just relax. They'll
Yeah.
just, calm their mind. They'll ready themselves for the next round and just see some basic stuff, solve some basic, basic puzzles or something to like refresh their mind. They don't prepare much.
Yeah. Also, most of the grandmasters that I've interacted with, not a lot, but some, I think all of them walk before the game. I think it gives the body that arousal that it needs to be able
Yeah,
to play, right? To strain
yeah,
your
yeah,
mind. Walking helps a lot. So I've seen most people even walk from their hotel to the tournament venue. Most
yeah,
So many people walk from the hotel, right? If it's nearby. So maybe that. I think it is a very mysterious question. So the next question is,
yeah.
when you prepare for an upcoming tournament, what are the mandatory things or skills or tactics that will be crucial for the same?
Upcoming tournaments. So, uh, while I used to prepare for these world championships, which were very important for me, I used to mainly focus on who were my competitors. So what are I used to analyze my own games, see
Hmm.
what are the phases of the game where I'm a bit weak. If I am weaker in a middle game, I would focus on middle game in that time period. If you have 1 month or 2 months before the upcoming tournament, you should focus on the areas where you're weaker, where you think you might not be able to give your 100%. So focus on these topics, and of course continue with side by side with other like openings and end
Yes.
games, continue with those, but focus more on the topics where you're weaker.
Okay. There's one more question. I think we've already covered it with in the discussion, but if you can just summarize it for Mehek.
Yeah.
She's saying that she has interest in playing chess, but has no idea how to learn or practice it properly, or how to use tricks. She's just a beginner with some basic knowledge of how the pieces move.
Okay.
So, if you could just
So
summarize the discussion for beginners.
for beginners, I would suggest, first of all, learn the fundamentals of chess. There are certain books which Shritu will share after the session.
Yeah.
These books will help you like properly understand the fundamentals, which will be helpful in the long term.
Hmm.
These are very important, and you should regularly solve some puzzles, even if it's very basic. Even just challenge yourself. Will just solve these 10 positions in 20 minutes. You have to do those positions. Just challenge yourself. And uh, what else? Openings, like find something. Basic structures, don't go into like very deep variations. Just basic structure you're comfortable in, and analyze a few moves. After that, the structures you will get in the middle game from these openings. You could see that. Um, and others, there are certain sites, like for example Leeches, chess.com, where you could solve a puzzle on certain themes. For example, if this prophylaxis or decoys or pins, you could solve the puzzles on that specific topic according to your rating range.
And
Or
they
you
have
could
lessons
adjust the
for it.
rating.
So first you could understand the topic and then solve the puzzles on it. I think they have a lot of
Yeah,
lessons too.
yeah,
To
lessons, lot of
yeah.
lessons.
Okay.
There's too
Perfect.
much material available online. You just have to use it.
Okay. We'll take two last questions. I think we are very low on time. So, what if you
Very.
feel like what if you feel like if you're stuck in some rating range and how to go ahead with that rating range?
Uh, I I'm not sure how to answer this because I am the same situation.
Yeah.
So uh, basically, again, the same. You have to identify your own weaknesses,
Mm,
because opponents identify these weaknesses and exploit those. So
mm.
before any rating tournament you are gonna play, just identify your own weaknesses where you're not able to perform, like certain positions where you're getting an isolated pawn. If you're not able to play these positions, just focus on these topics. See, analyze these positions multiple times. See some annotated games. There are many books where the grandmasters annotate these kind of games and give long descriptions about each moves. So you'll understand these games better, uh, why each move is played, and you will see the different ideas. You are able to see where you are making mistakes, these things are important.
Yeah, and I think you can analyze your own game for 2 hours also, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It
Yeah,
can
if
take
you're able to give more time in a day, so of course.
yeah, perfect. So I think analyzing your own games is a very crucial part when you want to move forward from a blockage, because it's
Yeah.
mainly your own doings that harm you, right? So
Yeah, actually.
yeah, okay. So last question. My city where I live doesn't have much opportunities in chess. So should I continue online improving my game, or should I go to another city on the weekends?
Uh, you could try to go to different cities if you think you're ready for it, because sometimes this confidence, you have to have that confidence that I'll be able to play in that OTB turn, like on the board tournament.
Right.
I'm ready for it. So if you think you're ready to play, then of course you could travel to some nearby cities and go for it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this was a very, very, very interesting interaction. But don't leave yet, guys. We have a special highlight left for us to enjoy. We'll
Yeah.
head into an exhibition match, and we'll be playing a fun hand and brain in the 5+2 format, where Mrudul will play the role of the hand, and our very own Kanha House member, Vijay Bhai, if you can just switch on your camera and be here. Vijay Bhai will be acting as your brain, Mrudul. And from my side, I will be
Yeah,
competing against Mrudul. And from my side, I will be participating as the hand, and my teammate Abhineet will be acting as my brain. All right.
Yeah.
Mrudul, can you please send the challenge? I'll
Yeah, just
share my screen. Yeah.
everyone. Yeah, just let me see.
And sorry, I could not get you, Abhineet.
Yeah, hello everyone. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I'll share my screen, and I will share the link with you guys, so you can watch the game on your own and respond. Right?
I sent the link.
Yeah, just a second. Okay, I hope you can see, guys. Abhineet and Vijay, can you see it? Can you see the
Yes,
board?
yeah, I can
Okay.
see the board.
I'll still share the link of the game. One second. In the chat box. Okay.
Uh, so first move, I'll just play what I want, or what?
No. Vijay, I will tell you. Can you see the board?
It's 30 seconds before it will auto abort, so
Vijay, can you see the board?
Yeah, I can see the board.
Yeah, you need to start telling Mrudul moves, I mean pieces, so she can
Okay,
move.
okay, 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 okay.
Yeah.
Pawn,
Okay. Abhineet,
okay.
please be ready.
pawn,
Okay.
bishop,
Interesting. Okay.
knight.
Okay. Sorry, I just went like that on intuition.
Okay, knight, pawn,
Okay.
okay, pawn, pawn again. Okay,
Did you say something?
pawn, pawn,
No, he's
pawn,
thinking. I think.
Okay, okay, sorry, I didn't hear.
pawn.
Thank you for not saying something else.
I don't know what to do now. Okay, bishop,
Fine. I was scared you'll say something else.
Yeah.
I was scared too.
Bishop.
Um. Okay. I hope this is
Okay.
what you wanted to play, Abhinit, because
No,
it's your turn.
Um,
I wanted something else.
Bishop.
That's fine now.
Sorry, what?
Bishop.
Okay, bishop.
Bishop.
Okay. King.
Mudul is happy, I think.
Uh,
What do you
Yeah.
say?
Queen.
Queen?
Queen.
Okay, I am not, but okay. um,
Rook.
Bishop.
Bishop. Okay.
Pawn.
he's happy he wanted to play that. Pawn, did you say
Yeah.
pawn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Bishop.
Knight.
Okay. Knight.
You have to play the right.
Yeah, yeah.
अभिनीत इसके बाद क्रूशियल मोमेंट है ठीक है
Okay. I don't see it.
नहीं नहीं क्रूशियल आपके लिए नहीं हमारे लिए जस्ट
हाँ हमारे लिए कुछ चल रही है ना.
King.
ओके
Okay. Okay. Um. Pawn.
Pawn.
Sorry.
Okay. Pawn again.
Sorry, what?
Pawn.
Okay.
आई थिंक द बोथ ऑफ देम वांटेड टू एक्सचेंज बट
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pawn. I don't want to change that position.
okay but you can't say that that's fine I'll think of something um you said pawn right
Yeah.
But I have no idea what to play. Let me just.
Okay. Hmm. I guess I wanted to play was not a good move, so I suggest something else.
Did you say
Hmm.
something like any
Yeah,
piece?
rook,
Oh, you said. I didn't hear.
rook. No, I said
He
just now.
just said, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Rook.
Queen. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Knight.
Okay. Pawn.
Uh, you're telling me pawn, like white, no?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Abhinit,
Pawn.
well, low on time. More than them.
Pawn.
Okay.
Pawn. Let
Yeah,
it happen.
they don't.
Queen.
Pawn.
Has okay.
Abhinit, pawn बोला ना?
Yeah.
Please say the right piece.
Don't put pressure.
Okay.
No, no, no. Say anything.
Uh, okay. Queen.
Uh, okay.
Abhinit, jaldi, jaldi, jaldi. 20 seconds.
Yeah. Knight.
Night.
Um, Pawn.
Pawn. Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Abhinit, jaldi हाँ. बोलो.
Knight.
Okay.
Okay. Rook. Okay. Okay. Can I change it?
You
Okay.
said
Okay.
no?
Fine. 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 Fine.
Oh,
Okay. Fine. 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 Fine.
Queen.
Fine.
Queen. 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 Queen.
um, where the hell? Okay.
Rook.
Abhinit.
Okay. Queen. Queen.
What? What? Yeah.
Arey.
Okay. Okay.
Shit.
That was fun.
That
That
queen.
was a lot of fun. You
Uh,
said queen, right?
So
yeah. earlier you need to it at queen b6, and it has a brilliant move there.
Where?
What move?
Queen to b6,
Yeah,
How? But
actually, he's right.
and
yeah,
then
but
his
Queen to
queen is actually his
b6.
queen is blocked, and then his we can get his rook,
Rookade.
Rook to
and
it.
then we can take a rook uh, to
Oh,
smash it on the
okay.
checkmate, because there is a knight standing there, and it will remain there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
you're
queen
right.
six will also come, no?
Yeah,
But
now I
I
see
thought
it.
you'll play that, but
yeah,
it's good that
I
you
was
didn't play.
focusing on rookade and rook into a2 only because
Yeah.
टाइम तो मेरे को सैड हो गया ठीक है
Okay.
okay so thank you guys for participating and
Okay, thank you, Mudil.
congratulations
Yeah.
Mrudul and Jai.
I hope it was informative.
Yeah, also we have an exciting announcement right now. Tanish, you're here, right?
Yes,
And
I'm
yeah,
here.
so
I hope
Tanish
I'm
is
audible.
yeah, Tanish is the secretary of Kana House Chess Club, and he'll be giving you a very pretty exciting announcement right now. Please continue, Tanish.
So, first of all, a great game. I enjoyed it a lot. And as you all have seen the session already, it's not like a 1200 can beat an IM. You just saw Abhinit beat an IM already. Okay. That's just they lost on time. Anyways, the jokes aside, no one can beat an IM. Like not from our side, of course. We are here to announce a exclusive tournament. As you know, Shitu has already told you about Dronacharya. Along with Dronacharya, we are starting an intra-house tournament exclusively for Khana House members who will be playing 10 plus 0 in format, and there will be six teams, namely Arjun, Bhim, Yudhishthir, Nakul, Sahadev, and Karn, headed by our some of our best players in the house currently. Uh, the teams will participate. The teams will participate in an auction and buy players based on point system. Each team will be allotted a set of points, which will be given to the captains in the last of November, this November, or the first week of December. The dates are yet to be decided, so we'll announce that. But I am here to announce the captains of the team. So, first of all, Team Arjun, Anurag Mishra, Team Bhim, Arpit Mishra, Team Yudhishthir, Dhairya Shah, Team Nakul, Abhineet Raman, Team Sahadev, Sai, Team Karn, Yajatnath Tripathi. These will be the captains for the inter-house tournaments, and these captains will decide who will play in their team. And how can you register for this team? You have to just fill the form given in the description of description of the YouTube you are watching live, or the group chat, and we'll be sharing while promotion we'll be sharing a link to the form from where you can register. Once you are registered, you can just join the Ghana House Chess Club WhatsApp group, and we'll update you regularly about the events and the auction details. And that's it for the event. I think you have enjoyed the episode one of Dronacharya, and thank you a lot, Mridul, for the opportunity. I'm currently traveling out of my city. So if you are not allowed house, much about it, but I hope you come to Kana House and show your potential. But anyways, you'll be uh, who all have attended the session today will get free resources, which is given by Mridul to us. Thank you for that, and uh, please fill the form to get the resources, which is already given in the Google chat. of this meet. And thank you, Mridul, for joining us in today's session. And guys, that's it from our side. Any more queries? And if you have any queries, you can contact me or Shrizu, uh, especially for the Kana House members, and join our WhatsApp group and community. I think that's it from our side, who have participated in this event today. Thank you.
Thank you,
Uh,
Mrudul,
you
for
can
your
end the
time.
meet now.
We actually extended a bit from the given time, but
Yeah.
thank you so much for being with us. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope you had a lot of fun today.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I had a lot
Or-
of fun.
okay, that's perfect. Thank you. And you can all leave the meeting now. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.